All right, guys, user request. Someone asked how you can export a file from Cricut Design Space into whatever other program you're using, and the answer to that is you can't. And I did respond that in an email. Cricut does not allow you to be able to export files. You have this kind of storage inside of it, and it wants all files to stay in there. However, the best approach, of course, is to either create your files in a free program like Inkspace, or you can create your files in like Illustrator or any other vector program. Some people use Procreate, which is not a vector program, and then they have to export it to SVG. But however way you choose to do it, the best way if you want to take those files out is to start your files in another program. Most of my files I do start in another program. I have started using Design Space a little more lately, because it just makes it easier and convenient. But I only use it for files that I know that I don't want to export. However, there are workarounds. One, you can work offline, which really just allows you to work on your Cricut files off without the internet, but you're still not going to be able to export it. So a workaround is always a screenshot. I don't like this method. However, it is a method that works. It's where you take a screenshot, you bring it into a program that vectorizes like Illustrator, maybe Inkspace. I'm not quite familiar with Inkspace, or any cutter programs that you have, and then you can turn it into a vector. And so one approach, that's the approach that I'll show you today. It's not the approach that I like, however, it is an approach. So what I'm going to do is grab something that I've already created. As a matter of fact, I might grab, I want to make sure it's something I created, therefore I'm not violating any of Cricut's rules. All right, so I'm just going to create this one. I'm going to choose customize, and so here is my design. One thing that's important is if you want the design and you don't want these lines, then you're going to have to put something behind it. So I'm going to zoom out real quick, just so that we can see everything. I'm going to create a, you know what, I'm just going to do one of these. So I'll take this one just to make it easier. So I'm going to delete this one real quick. All right. And so I'll just take this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a shape right behind here. And remember, the purpose of the shape is really just to block out these lines. You don't want those grid lines in there. There's just no cause for that. Well, I have it. All right. I'm going to make this box white. All right. So I'm going to make it as big as I can. I'm going to send it to the back so that it sits behind this box. And I want to make this one as large as possible. Now, the reason for making the image as large as possible is strictly for resolution. If you're going to be tracing it, you want the image that you're going to trace to the resolution to be as large as possible, because there is going to be some loss. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way around it. So, but hopefully it'll be minimal and not be seen. So I'm going to unlock my ratio here click on this lock over here, and I'm going to see how large I can make this box. Let me see. Oh, I meant to unlock. Definitely don't want to skew it. So make sure when you're, let me unlock this. I only want to unlock the white box because I don't care about it skewing, but I do care about our image skewing. Nobody wants that. Well, time for that. All right, so let's just make this larger. I am not working on my typical mouse. I have about a carpal tunnel. So as a result of that, I am working with a trackpad. to reduce the pain. So that's why I'm stumbling around here. Okay, so let me go ahead and make this. All right, so this is as large as I can make this image. And if you're on a PC, screenshotting is so easy. If you're on a, if you're on a Mac, screenshot is so easy. If you're on a PC, you have to use your snipping tool, which if you've never used that before, it is in your search bar. I think your search bar on the PC is at the bottom, and you just search snip, and usually it comes up, and it is the snipping tool. It's free with Windows, and what you're gonna do is take a screenshot. And when you take a screenshot of it, I think you might have to hit new, and then you're gonna see the crosshair that I'm gonna show you in a second. And all you do is drag over your image, and it's gonna take a screenshot of it. So I'm using a Mac, so us Mac users know that the easy way is to hold Command Shift and 4, and we're going to get this crosshair. So this is the same crosshair that you're going to get if you're on Windows, when you use the snipping tool. Yours might look a little different, but it's the same. It's performing the same function. You're going to click and draw to get a screenshot so that you can grab that. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to the bottom as close as I can and snap that shot. All right. So I just took a screenshot of it. You should have a screenshot. And so what you're going to do next, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. You guys are going to be exposed to my desktop. Is I'm going to open up Illustrator. That's the program that I'm going to use. And again, whatever program you use, you'll want it to be vector based. If it's not, then you're going to have to do another set of converting. So I'm going to open Illustrator. I probably should have checked it before I go. And let me go to just click something. All right. And so now I'm going to take that screenshot and bring that in. So I'm going to go to File, Open, or I don't want to do this. I'm going to place it. So I'm going to File, Place. And then I know the screenshots go on my desktop. So there it is. Oh, that's not the one. My computer's been acting really awesome lately. I'm not quite, there it is. Okay. So there it is. Yeah, it won't put it under a date. It keeps putting it under no date ever since I got it back from the shop. So I'm not sure what that's about. That's okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this screenshot in. Okay. And this is and I just clicked it because I wanted it to come in at the exact size. I didn't want to drag and drop it. I want it to be the resolution that it is. So if you're using something like Illustrator, you can do what's called live trace to trace out this, or you're going to be like redrawing it again. So honestly, the best way to do this, I really am not a fan of using live trace and stuff like that for things like this, but the best way to do this would be to create whatever you want to create outside of Cricut Design Space, and then bring it into Cricut Design Space. That's just the best way, because Design Space is proprietary, and everything that you create has to stay inside of Design Space. So, all right, but if you don't, then here we go. All right, so I'm going to choose Make. I actually like to do options and stuff first, but I'm going to choose Make in this case. All right, so it looks like nothing happened, but it did. A tracing actually happened. But over here in the Properties panel, you're going to see the Image Tracing Properties panel, because that's what we're in. Down here where it says Image Trace, here's where you can choose, where you have some options. So this right here is the Image Trace panel. We're going to go into that in a second, but I want to show you the presets. So in the preset right now, it's set for default, but I can choose some of these presets. Like if this was line art, I could choose that. If it was a black and white logo, which actually falls under that, I could choose that. If I know that I have various colors, like let's say I had different shades of gray and stuff like that, I could choose different colors and stuff like that. Or if I had a full high quality photo, then I could choose that. If it was a silhouette, there you have it. I could choose that. So, but I want to show you this Image Trace panel and the options that we have in here. Let me move this over. So in here we have reviewing the tracing result right now. We also have those similar presets up here. They're actually the same, but it's only like five or six that you get. We can choose view tracing result, which we are, but we also have other options in there, tracing with outlines, you know, and other options in there. You can look at the source image as well. You can change the threshold. We can also go to advanced, and then in advanced, we just have more control over this. Like for instance, this ignore white, I like to have that checked because then that means that this white background that we made inside of Design Space is going to ignore that, and you want that so that you don't have a picture that you're putting, you know, that's going to be like on colored paper and it's going to have that white feel. So I'm going to choose ignore white. Okay. And it goes through a thing. So now when I put like paper or something behind it, or I can actually just click and delete that white if I wanted to. So that's really, let me see what else I want to do. Mode is black and white. Again, if you had grayscale, like different various shades of gray, you would choose that one. And if you had color, you would choose that one. And then tracing result with outlines, I'm going to go with the actual tracing result. So if I'm happy with this, I can expand it. If I'm not happy with this, I can work on it a little further. So at the moment, I'm just going to say okay, and I'm going to go over here to expand, and it's going to expand it out. And as you see, the white is gone. You saw that the little dialog box now is only around the shape. And to further show this, what I can do is I can put a box behind this in a different color. Maybe I'll put a box behind this and put it red. Sorry if I'm hurting eyes. I'm trying not to. Let me go ahead and make it lighter. All right. So I'm going to move this to the back. Oops. Let me cancel. I don't want to move my box. I'm going to get the black arrow. That is the selection tool. And I'm going to arrange this and send it to the back. And as you can see, all the white is gone. And now you have a vectorized version of whatever design that you had that you pulled out of Design Space. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer. If you use any objects that Cricut has in there, then you probably don't want to do this with their objects because their stuff is copywritten, meaning they allow you to, like a lot of the things they do allow you to sell and put on your like Etsy shops and in your clothes and stuff like that. They don't have a problem with that, but they're not allowing you to take it out of their program for a reason. So like I said, I only chose a design that I completely designed myself to show you this tutorial with. So you just want to make sure, I don't want anybody getting in trouble, and this isn't the purpose of this tutorial, but any design that you design that is your own, like for instance, let's say I designed this, but I had computer issues, my computer's gone, my hard drive died, and now the only other copy I have of this is from the one that I put in Design Space. So for that reason, it's 100% mine. I'm taking it, you know, there you have it. There should be any issues. But if any piece of this was by Design Space, I would delete that part out. You know, it was designed by Cricut, I would delete that part out because I don't want to get in trouble for anything like that. So all right, hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. If you don't know Illustrator, this is it's a little advanced, but I will be bringing out more tutorials that are, you know, that start from the beginner level all the way up to advanced level pretty soon. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully this answers your questions, and I will see you on the next video. Ta-ta for now.